Hello everyone, so I'm back and I'm here to talk about some amazing new what are they called? The movie dates for the MCU, right? Because the MCU has movie dates. So there's a bunch of them that they just kind of came out with. And I wanted to kind of talk about them and kind of give my predictions as to, what they will be. Because they're very cool dates. And I want to continue to push the narrative that I've been, that I've been pushing for a long time about this. And of course, all these dates are in 2024. Now, I would expect some more dates in 2023 to appear since the last movie is Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is in May of 2023. So I would expect more dates in 2023 because I don't think you're going from May to February of 2024 without a movie because that's just economically insanely stupid or just, business-wise very stupid. But I think it'll be a very interesting kind of, interesting to see what they put in here. And I have a few ideas, obviously, which I'll be going through now. And I'll talk kind of about where I think they could go. And there's a few others which I'll talk about as well, besides like the main ones. But yeah, so the first one I want to talk about, I think, in terms of where I think it could go or what I think it could be, is Deadpool 3, right? Because we know that Deadpool is something which has been confirmed by Kevin Feige and has actually been confirmed by Ryan Reynolds to an extent. I think they even said they had a script, which is kind of, interesting because I think that the whole idea of Deadpool kind of being put into, is there a world where Deadpool is put into like a July time slot? I'm going to leave May out of this, but because I think we all know it's going in May, hopefully. But do I think that they give Deadpool a July time slot? I don't know, because Deadpool I feel like would fall into that February or November area, because if you look at what they do in those February, November areas, right, you get a lot of those smaller movies. You get the bigger kind of, movies in May, July, obviously because summer, right? So things that are riskier, you put in kind of February, November, and things that are not, they put in kind of the summer, May and July kind of area, right? Things you'll make money off of, the big franchises for the most part. So I think that that's why I don't think they'll necessarily put that there. But then the other movies which I have going in November, February, I think are kind of interesting. But I also think Deadpool's far enough along to the point where by 2024 it will be ready to be released. Now, could this be a 2023 release? I guess, but I don't know if it will be. And also the other question is, does it actually count as part of the MCU release schedule, or is it going to be part of a Fox release schedule, I guess, right? So that's the other thing we don't really know yet. But I think Deadpool would be a really cool kind of idea, definitely put in there. The next one is obviously the first family of Marvel, Fantastic Four. I think they would actually probably make the most sense for a November release slot because they do feel like a November project. I think, it's a movie which I think Kevin Feige has wanted to kind of move along. And so I think that by him kind of putting them in that November spot, you got a nice November 8th. And if it was November 4th, I would have been like, yes, because 4, right? And Fantastic Four. But because it's 8th, it's like maybe not. But I think that November spot is definitely a place you'd want to put a movie like a Fantastic Four. It's a nice, you can get a ton of people to fall. I think Fantastic Four's brand is kind of being damaged as well. So I think, you want to put in that less risky. I would say give it a July or give it even maybe a May. But I think that the idea of Fantastic Four just being so damaged, I think Marvel would want to put it in a less populated release slot like a November and give it a chance just so that people can kind of see if they're kind of into it, right? Because I don't think they can put this as a big franchise right away, but I think it's something you can definitely look at. Now, the other one is one we know that is coming, and to what extent we'll find out, right, is Captain America 4, obviously starring Anthony Mackie's Falcon. And this one I think is a lot farther along than we even think it is, and I think they're almost ready to film, and I think that soon they will be actually filming. And I think this is one where they haven't given us a release date, but we've known about this for a while, and I think they've known about it for even longer, to the point where I think 2024 may even be too late. And I think if there's any of these movies that I'm going to mention, which will end up in 2023, Falcon or Captain America 4 would definitely be one of those. I could see it getting like a November release date or a July even in 2023. And here I can definitely see it getting an early, like a February kind of release date. I mean, would they put it in July? it's possible. I think Captain America is a big enough name for them to do it. I know they like those kind of November, February spots for movies like Captain America. Historically, although I guess like unless it's like a Civil War size story, where it's like technically an Avengers movie. But I think an early, and I think you would also want to do it earlier because I think again, when it comes to just being done, it would be. But again, it also depends on how important it is in the timeline. And so if it isn't an earlier one, I think it'll probably get like a February one could make sense. Also about Fantastic Four, which I just realized, Fantastic Four technically, 2024 has a 4 in it, and Fantastic Four. So maybe that's something. And then the next one is of course the one which I'm fairly confident will take that May release date, and that is the Avengers. Now, I don't know to what extent this will be the Avengers. Will this be like, like a dark Avengers type thing, or like some other kind of version of the Avengers, or will it be like the new Avengers? Obviously, they're kind of setting up a lot of different things. So it's kind of, I don't know where they're going with this, but I do believe May 3rd, 2024 will be an Avengers movie. I've been saying 2024 for a while is the place they're going to put an Avengers movie. It just makes so much sense. I know they're saying they're not going to do it, but I think, you're due for an Avengers movie come 2024. It's been like, 4 years, I guess, technically, 2019, right? Because was 2019 Endgame? I don't know. With this pandemic, it's just been like the days have kind of just stuck together. Avengers and game. See, I should know this. 2019, yeah, so I was right. So it's been like 5 years since an Avengers movie. Oh my god. And because I guess we're in 2020. Whoa. It's going to be 5 years since an Avengers movie. You're going to have done a ton of other movies. Do I think 2024 is the perfect time for an Avengers movie? Yes. Have I been saying that? Also, yes. I think it'll be the perfect kind of opportunity. You give us our new Avengers, and you just kind of you make it a big thing. Now, the next, I guess, movie which could get that kind of slot is, of course, Blade. Now, Blade, or one of these slots, Blade. Blade is a different movie, though. And Blade is a movie which I'm less confident about the idea of it actually coming out on time and in 2020, even 2024 being on time, because I think Blade is something which we don't really know a lot about, and I think has kind of seemed like it's kind of being pushed to the far back burner. So I don't know if 2024 is too generous for this, but at the same time, I think it's a possibility. You give it a nice February or November release. February I think would be kind of the place I'd see it going, and you can get I guess another kind of test the waters thing, because I don't know if they do go down that kind of more R-rated route for Blade. Or the darker route for Blade. I think they said it's not going to be, but like if you go that kind of generally not, straight up comedy type thing, maybe you do move it, you give it a February or a November, because you obviously, you're based on the audience. Obviously in the summer you want younger audience or more family audiences, while in November, February you'll get a lot more kind of that Deadpool audience, right? And I think that's why you kind of, depending on the movie, maybe you would actually want to put it in a February. Also makes more money just naturally because, typically less big movies, so you actually make more money. I think that's something, because you're not obviously competing with the big blockbusters of the summer. Now, the other option, obviously, which I did put on here because I think it's one which I'm not quite sure about, which is the X-Men, or some version of that, be that a Mutants movie or something. I don't know if that happens in 2024. I think it feels, I don't know, to me X-Men feels like it's still a ways off. And I think even more so ways off, I guess, than Fantastic Four and Avengers. Because Avengers, obviously, you don't need to really promote, because X-Men are in a weird spot where I think there's still too much from the old kind of X-Men. And I think you do, in my opinion, at least need a Deadpool movie before you get an X-Men movie, because I think you need to kind of finish with that Deadpool arc. You need to figure out how you're going to, because I think there is too much baggage along with the X-Men right now. And maybe in 2023, 2024, this will be a very different situation. But I think the Fantastic Four have had a lot more time to kind of breathe, no baggage. You all the way up to Deadpool 2, whatever, and Logan, all those things, you have a lot of this. And I think you've got to kind of let that fade a little bit more before you give them a movie. And so I think that's why they'll kind of lay off the X-Men. I feel like it's going to be too early in 2024. Again, it's a possibility, which is why I wanted to mention it, but I think, in all likelihood, it probably won't happen. Now, if I had to kind of give, I guess, final guesses based on right now, I would probably say put the Avengers in May, put Fantastic Four in November, put Captain America in July, and put either Blade or Deadpool in, or I guess put Deadpool in February. Deadpool, so Deadpool, Avengers, Captain America, and then Fantastic Four to round out the year. That's what I would say based on what I see here. It just kind of makes sense, based on the properties and whatnot. I do think 2024 is the perfect time for an Avengers movie. I think when they announce these movies, Avengers will be included to some extent. Again, I don't know if it'll be like a legitimate Avengers 5 or if it'll be a variation of an Avengers movie. But I do think it's time for an Avengers movie come 2024. I've been saying this for a while, as 2024 feels like the perfect break in the story, like where I feel like they're going to have enough built up to where you can have an Avengers movie. Because if you think about it, right, before that, they'll have a ton of stuff. They'll have Secret Invasion, Guardians 3. You'll have, you'll have Captain Marvel 2. You'll have, what else? Ant-Man 3, right? Ant-Man 3. You'll have Spider-Man. You'll have all of these movies. You'll have Doctor Strange, Thor. You'll have, what else? There's more, right? There's Armor Wars, right? You'll have all of these things. If you don't think that culminates in an Avengers movie come 2024, I think that's kind of crazy, right? Because yes, is it only 5 years? But then again, you think about it, and that's still a long time. And I think if you think about it, right, Age of Ultron came out 5 years or ish, right? Because 15 to 19, so 4 years, I guess, from each other. And then you got Avengers in 2012, and so I think it's kind of, because you got 12 to 15, you got 15 to, I guess, technically 18, right? And then 18 to 19, and then 19 to 25, or 24, sorry. That kind of makes sense, right? So I think it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens there. But let me know, because I do think May always ends up being that month for the Avengers. But let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, follow us on social media. As always, all that stuff's down there, and then do the like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think. What do you think will be in those slots? Do you agree? Do you disagree? But let me know what you think down there. Do you think it's a time for an Avengers movie come 2024? Or do you think they should wait? Do you think X-Men should be included as a part of these? Do you think a solo mutant movie or another new character who we have not seen yet or heard of yet could appear in one of those? Let me know all those ideas down below. I want to really know what you think. But other than that, that's all for me. And see you all next time. Bye.